Hello, you curious and quirky internet searchers. We are back with another 10 things you'll probably be better off just not Googling. Save yourself the images being burned into your memory forever, the deep rabbit holes that lead to nothing but wasted hours, and just some horrifying information that really nobody needs. Here is part 3 of the top 10 terrifying things you should never Google. Starting off this list in our number 10 spot, we have the inside of your stomach. I'm not entirely sure why anyone would want to Google this, but if you're curious about some of your intestinal anatomy, you perhaps are looking for a nicely colored diagram to learn more about what's going on in your own body, but unfortunately, that's not all that comes up on one of these searches. Googling the inside of your stomach will have some image results of, well, the inside of your stomach. What did you think? It's exactly what you asked for, but let me be clear, that is not a sight for everybody. Looking at these images would definitely make quite a few of us sick to our stomachs, unless you're a medical student or a professional, or just know that you can handle the graphic images that might pop up on the screen. This is definitely a search that should just stay out of your history. In our number 9 spot today, we have crime scene photos. There unfortunately are many crime scene photos on the internet that are just one simple search away, but today we are talking about just one, and that is the Nikki Katsouras crash scene photos. In October of 2006, Nikki was 18 and driving her father's Porsche in Lake Forest in California when she unfortunately lost control of the vehicle and crashed. The crash is said to have been extremely gruesome, and like any crime scene, photos were taken of it. Unfortunately, these photos did end up getting leaked through emails, and from there they were posted to and spread on the internet. It has become abundantly clear that Nikki's family does not want people looking at these photos, so other than the fact that something like this is just not safe for life, I think they are making a perfectly reasonable request that definitely should be respected where possible. All this to say, I didn't and won't be Googling any of these photos. In our number 8 spot today, we have the brain-eating amoeba. Naegleria fowleri is more commonly known as the brain-eating amoeba for a pretty fair reason, and this is one of those things that once you learn about it, it can kind of send you down a rabbit hole. Alright, we've all been there. This parasite is single-celled and thrives in warm bodies of water. It can enter the human body when water that contains the amoeba enters the nose. It will then travel from there via the olfactory nerves, and within a few days, symptoms will begin to present themselves. The parasite can cause a brain infection known as meningoencephalitis, which can cause severe brain inflammation. How was that for a one-time, just one shot? Pretty impressive. That's a big word. Symptoms will start with a fever, a headache, some nausea and vomiting, and a stiff neck. Eventually though, the symptoms will progress into lack of attention, loss of balance, seizures, hallucinations. The parasite will most likely put the host into a coma, and almost 100% of the people who have been infected have lost their lives. This is all to say, this terrifying parasite is one that I would refrain from Googling unless you just want to be totally freaked out about its existence. I know I just told you about it, but don't Google, because it only gets worse from here. In our number 7 spot today, we have the dark web. Just one of those really self-explanatory things. The dark web has stuff on it that we don't even want to begin to think about. And not only this, but just casually trying to access the dark web is likely to have you being added to some kind of internet watch list somewhere. A search for the dark web might reveal some odd conspiracy theories that might get you roped in. It might show you some horrific content you definitely don't want to see, or you might even see yourself getting hacked or a virus, or who knows, any of the other disgusting stuff that lurks on the dark corners of the internet. Who am I kidding? I feel like the dark web takes up more space on the internet than I want to know. All I'm saying is, hi, how are you? Let's all stay on this side of the internet, the fun, nice side, where we talk about creepy stuff, but we don't do creepy stuff. Know what I'm saying? In our number 6 spot today, we have calculus bridge. At first I thought this was just like a terrifying math problem or something, but as it turns out, it really is just a dentist's nightmare. In the dental world, the word calculus means something very different. Basically, what dental calculus is, when you don't properly brush or floss dental plaque away, it can combine with the minerals that are in your saliva and eventually turn into calculus. While regular plaque can be brushed away, you definitely need professional help in order to get rid of calculus. Now, calculus bridge is like a step up from regular calculus. According to Doctor of Dental Surgery Gary Schlotterer, quote, "A calculus bridge occurs when tartar or calculus builds up so much that it connects with the adjacent teeth and forms a solid bridge of deposits. You can visually see this bridge due to its brown or tan color along the edge of the teeth by the gum line, but of course, when we Google this term, Images is only going to show us some of the most severe cases, which can see the bridge extending into the gum line or further along the surface of the teeth. Unless you're particularly interested in dental hygienics, this might be a good search to just stay away from." In our number 5 spot today, we have a chicken laying an egg. What came first, the chicken or the egg? Well, I'm fairly certain it was the egg. We can discuss that all later, because what we are discussing right now is why you should never Google a chicken laying an egg. I feel like this is hopefully pretty self-explanatory, but it's definitely a strange sight. You'd be surprised how much chicken egg laying content there is out there though. I mean, one of the top results when I searched this was a YouTube video called "Chicken laying an egg!" exclamation point. And then in parentheses, close-up 3, which I think insinuates a close-up 2 and 1, and I'm just gonna say it. Who needs 3 separate parts of close-up shots? That's weird. Anyway, some things I think are better left to the imagination, and some are best just not being thought of at all. And I think this counts as one of those. In our number 4 spot today, we have Ed Gein's house. Ed Gein was an absolute monster and is the basis for many horror movies today because of how horrifying his crimes were. Inside of his home, authorities found different household items that were made out of body parts, some from the victims of his crimes and some from the graves he would go and search and snatch from. There are some photos circulating the incident that are more tame, but some of them show just a drop of the horrors that lay inside of the home. For a while, for some unknown reasons, it was thought that they might use this house as a tourist attraction, but thankfully the house ended up burning down, and honestly I feel truly glad that it doesn't exist anymore. Save yourself the real life nightmare and just refrain from Googling anything to do with Ed Gein, unless you want to see lamps made out of humans. In our number 3 spot today, we have historical Halloween costumes. In this day and age, when Halloween time comes around, we see all types of costumes. We see a few spooky, scary ones, but for the most part we see princesses, or fairies, or basketball players, or some sort of pop culture reference. But back in the day, Halloween was a terrifying time. And I'm not saying that because people dressed as these elaborate, scary creatures. I just mean the absolute scraps that people had to throw together to make a Halloween mask are truly scarier than any creature I could ever come up with. Googling Halloween costumes from history will bring up photos showing a nice little family as they're ready to celebrate the spookiest day of the year, but their costumes are full on terror-inducing. It just gives me the Strangers vibes. It's very unsettling. In our number 2 spot today, we have the wet koala. I love little koala bears. They're cute, they're always just chillin'. I feel like most people enjoy a nice photo of a koala, alright, brighten your day a bit. But for some strange reason, when you Google wet koala, everything changes. Wet koala searches bring back results of koalas that appear to be drenched in some sort of water, but for some reason, in all of these photos, the demeanor of the koala has changed. These wet koalas are not the nice, kind, cuddly, adorable ones I thought I knew, and instead are these angry, menacing, teeth-bearing ones that I really never expected to see. Okay, as it turns out, the teeth-bearing one is actually all thanks to Photoshop, but I still stand by my original point. That Photoshop job really made me think of koalas in a different light, and the original photos they used to Photoshop still don't have the koalas looking too happy. Maybe they just aren't fans of the rain, I don't know. In our number 1 spot today, we have eyelashes. In the last part of this video series, we talked about Googling your pillow under a microscope, and now we are talking about Googling your eyelashes under a microscope. Our eyelashes help keep our eyes clean, and the stray ones give us wishes, and they seem like harmless, little easygoing hairs, right? Well, turns out when we go a little closer, our eyelashes are the home to a disgusting little secret. The lashes aren't really the problem, the more concerning thing is the creatures that call them home. These creatures, called demodex, are mites that live on everyone's eyelashes. They, like the pillow bugs, feed off of dead skin cells as well as the oils that collect in the follicles. Okay, are you ready for the worst part? I know, it's crazy that we aren't even past it yet, but here we go. At nighttime, while you're sleeping, these guys come out of your eyelashes and head onto other regions of your face, and this is where they breed, okay? They then return to your lash follicles to lay up to 25 eggs. Yeah, I don't know. I woke up like just a couple hours ago and I'm still trying to recover from what just happened to me. All right? I don't like it. I don't like it. Wash your face, wash your eyelashes, and get out of here. All right? That's it. We're done. Bye. All right. Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. And thrives in warm waddies of water. Just gonna have a sip of coffee. Thanks. Sorry about that, everyone. All right. Halfway through.